Hello and welcome back, everyone, to our Rocket Rabbit Commentaries commentary over yet another movie. And in this episode, we will be covering Shrek from 2001.
Shrek.
The classic, the all-star, the smash mouth, the memes.
Pop you in the
Shrek
face.
is love, Shrek is life, all of the source mod shit.
Somebody once asked if a character is green. I tell
They
you,
said
I
yes,
ain't
he is, and
Kermit
he's
the
large
Frog.
now.
Yeah.
Yes, it is Christmas time over in Rocket Rabbit Land, and so we're deciding to celebrate with Shrek 1.
Yeah, this is a great Christmas present for ourselves. And I picked another Dreamworks movie that also uses a unique intro that also came out just shortly after Chicken Run. I believe that it was a difference of 3 months because Shrek was a 2001 March release, if I remember. Because I saw this in theaters when it came out, and that was pretty damn funny.
Wow.
They said ass.
I didn't see Shrek until it was doing TV rounds.
Even then, that people will pick up on by its remarkable 3.5 star out of 4 star rating, that this movie is full of colorful characters and classic memorable scenes, all paying homage to fairy tale storytelling.
Yep.
By inventing Shrek. Who is Shrek? Wouldn't you like to know?
Only sometimes. I am actually a really big fan of this movie, although it's going to come up quite a bit during the commentary. I actually prefer Shrek 2 over Shrek 1.
Yeah, and I can see where Shrek 2 has some steal away moments, like the banquet scene where Shrek and King Harold are ripping to pieces their food while talking angrily at each other. Yeah, I chuckled a few times at that.
Honestly, it usually comes down to the climax for me. Anyway, are we ready, Mr. Cloud?
Hell yeah, we're as ready as we're going to be. That
we are starting just before the start of the Dreamworks logo.
Yes, with its own unique intro, because I guess Dreamworks had just. Well, it is nice that it is refreshing that we don't have to use the Dreamworks, the actual Dreamworks intro music, which they used for Bruce Almighty a couple years later, if I'm not mistaken. That might have been Universal Studios. Never mind. But yes, we are ready to start Shrek.
All right, give us a countdown, Mr. Cloud.
3, 2, 1, press play. La la la, la 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 la.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ha ha ha. Letter D, R E A M, W O. RKSSKG.
Dreamworks Pictures presents.
I love the suspense they use, because they did a similar thing for Chicken Run, is that they don't it's just a black screen and then it goes to the actual animated portion.
Mm-hmm.
That is a book.
Yes. For the record, Shrek is actually based on an old parody fairy tale book.
And Mike Myers joins us for the voice of our eponymous character.
That is a terrible way to actually curse a person.
So, if I'm not mistaken, this is supposed to be the Brunhilde legend from German folklore.
Technically, it's more or less Sleeping Beauty, and I don't know if Sleeping Beauty is Brunhilde or not. I don't think so.
That the man on the right is supposed to be Siegfried. And that is Shrek's big, stupid green hand. Somebody once
told me the world was gonna roll me. Yeah. This, honestly, Smash Mouth does do quite a bit for this movie. It comes in here and at the end, so.
Now here's a dude who's already got it all together, kicking it off and hitting the ground running in the thematic and in the introductory sense, that this is a tour de force introduction to one of the more memorable characters I had growing up.
Mm-hmm. I get that we're supposed to be disgusted with this, but honestly, it's more charming than disgusting.
Oh, it is downright revolting at times. Because see, if you freeze frame that, you probably could have seen Shrek's ass crack. Oh, did I make a little bubble bath, huh? Maybe. Oh man, there's shit all over this movie. Yeah.
Judging by the hole in the satellite picture.
John Lithgow, as animated by the maggots on the ground, is the voice of Lord Farquaad. And it actually took me the longest time to realize, as my buddy had pointed out, seeing the movie fairly recently, that Farquaad is actually a play on the word fuckwad.
Yep.
Again, this is...
that
I mean, I haven't said it yet, eyeball eating, that this movie had adults in mind. They wanted to entertain the parents who were taking their children out, and they also want to create those very awkward moments when they had to explain that, no, that's a bad word. You shouldn't say that.
Apologies, technical difficulties.
What? That we got to stop the Smash Mouth party because we ain't all in it?
No, we're fine. It's just that my headset is deciding to shatter as I'm attempting to readjust my chair.
And that is the second of two uses of Smash Mouth's All-Star, including the ending credits of Rat Race, which began with an actual live performance with Smash Mouth cameos. Ah, he's funny. And he's huge.
Yeah, not only is he huge, he's also somewhat fire resistant.
Just the fleshness, just the thickness of his skin, actually. They're all still screaming.
This is the part where you run away.
See, if it wasn't for that laughter at the end, I probably would have been a lot more, like, creeped out than I would have been.
Yeah.
But Shrek does that, is that it breaks up...
Yeah, Shrek just wants to live alone and peacefully. He doesn't actually give a shit about about the fairy tale plot that's going around.
Seven dwarfs in bondage and in chains. And who do we have here? It's a talking donkey. Eddie Murphy, everybody, in one of his most memorable performances of all time. And the cynicism. See, we got what's going on so far. Fairy tale creatures like ogres. And then the other ones who get sold for their ability to entertain the king. I'm sorry, the Lord.
I apologize for not talking all that much. I always get enraptured in this movie.
Oh yeah, this is I believe it was John Tron actually who mentioned on one of his commentaries that he regarded Shrek as one of the flowiest movies of all time because it just flows because the characters are,
Yep.
the situation is usually unfolding right before our eyes. The characters are learning what the situation is as it goes along, and you can see that it's very believable and also keeps the characters really strong, especially our jackass donkey, who is now running for his life from the people who were trying to buy him, but runs into Shrek's buttocks.
Aye.
They ran so fast.
Ah, yes.
Well, vanished, actually, which made it funny. Honestly, Eddie Murphy probably has more words of dialogue than any other character in the movie.
Mostly because he has to talk really fast. Yeah, I was a donkey before this.
Ah, two losers. You guys will get along great together. Some Tic Tacs. That's right, because Tic Tacs around this time were big.
Oh, I'll tell you why.
All
All
alone.
alone.
No one
There's no one here beside me.
The bell gone. Me. But you gotta have friends.
That's actually odd. I don't remember that there was actually a backing track to that originally.
The orchestral. Yeah, I was gonna say that wasn't the orchestral swell behind him singing. No, no, stop that, stop that. You're not breaking into the song while I'm here.
Nope.
Yep, and 9 minutes and 45 seconds into the movie, just in case anybody was still wondering who Shrek was, yes, he just called himself Shrek.
Mm-hmm. For the record, I actually like the design of Shrek's house. I wonder how much landscaping he actually did in order to make this habitable.
Well, maybe he had some pigs, because that's what the. That is a nice boulder. Grateful donkey makes me smile. As I was saying, so when the French and English colonists came to the New World, they used pigs, and pigs root. They eat roots, and they clear away a lot of things that would get in the way of people trying to build houses, towns, getting lumber and stuff. But the drawback is that some pigs got loose, became wild, and actually became forces of destructive reckoning on the forest. So Shrek probably used pigs, and then he ate them. Waffles.
Poor sad donkey.
All right, so heavy-handed question. How much do you think the concept of, so we're talking about just being ostracized by a society. Shrek is a pariah, and Donkey is a loudmouth, jabbermouth who simply annoys the crap out of people. But this is Eddie Murphy we're talking about now, so...
That's his character in a majority of what he plays.
Yes,
so.
because Eddie Murphy is black.
For the record, I don't actually think it's because he's that he's got the black coating.
Not all the time, but go on.
I don't think it's actually because of the black coating that have Eddie Murphy's characters be consistently fast talking and a bit annoying. I think that's just the character personality that he has adapted and perfected onto his comedy routine.
Oh yeah. Well, that that if you are rejected, if you have any sense whatsoever that society is rejecting you, that is a relatable kind of problem, a lifelong problem, actually. But Donkey has learned to at least get along as best he can. He may have at least one friend now.
Surely, Shrek, this is not the first time that you've had mice in the house.
Of course they're blind mice. They got little black glasses on.
Yeah, it's to emphasize the fact that these are the 3 blind mice.
How did you know? Oh my god, this is like the airplane of animated movies. They throw so many things into this movie, you'll forget them after rewatching. Oh no, no.
And so the rehabilitation camp is Shrek's swamp.
And if you had the DVD release of this movie, congratulations. You may remember Shrek yelling no in order to tell you when you got a Shrek trivia quiz question wrong.
I don't actually think that my original DVD release had the trivia game on it.
Oh, it was awesome. It turned your DVD remote into a video game controller. And it was awesome.
For the record, a majority of the DVD video games were actually pretty shit. Like, I remember that there was a DDR equivalent for DVD video games, and you had to have the DDR pad with it, but the DDR pad required batteries, and God.
That they were designed to use up some of your time. Just not as much time as video games. Because video games are better.
Fairy tale things.
See, Shrek he's been warming up for talking to a crowd this big his whole life. Yeah.
Shrek, our hero. Shrek the king.
No.
Shrek's the king of the swamp.
No, I'm not a hero. Get this stupid cape off me.
Slightly too loud of humming, Mr. Donkey. I do really like the twist for this scene, honestly.
That Lord Farquaad is...
That Farquaad's a midget.
Oh, of course. That is a classic joke. I mean, Elf did that a couple of years later. Yep. Big in stature, low in height off the ground. He's ready to talk. Gingerbread Man. And John
Now,
Lithgow.
for the record, the joke here only almost works because he actually still has definite leg muscles.
Can't catch me. I'm the Gingerbread Man! And John Lithgow also went on to play villains in Dexter. He spits in his face.
Dexter airs before this, though.
No, after.
No way. Dexter is definitely before this.
No, really? Before 2001?
Yeah, Dexter's way before 2001. Hell, Dexter shows up before Ed, and Eddie.
No, not Dexter's Laboratory. Dexter, the fucking FX show or whatever. The one about the serial killer.
dude, that Dexter's not until like 2010.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You confused me. That John Lithgow played a very memorable and crazy villain on that show.
All right.
Although I think John Lithgow might have been a cut above doing voices on Dexter's Laboratory, unfortunately. I don't know if they ever brought in memorable performances for that show.
They did for the Justice Friends.
The Justice Friends. Right?
Is this not the fairest kingdom of them all?
Thelonious. Like, don't get me wrong, this movie is very violent, but it has the most adorable way of expressing violence.
Yeah. All right, here we go into our Bachelor game show. For the record, Cinderella is the one that he could actually rescue without all that much problem.
Well, because as we come to learn about Lord Farquaad, is that he goes with the crowd a lot of times, and that's part of his problem. Pina colada. The pina colada is an alcoholic beverage, for Christ's sake. Like, oh, this movie is so. It just sets your nerves on fire sometimes.
Two, right? I mean, my hand says two, but my mind thinks
Princess
three.
Fiona.
Pina coladas and getting caught in the rain.
Yes, enough about that very tragic flaw that will remain mysterious for a very long time now. Onward to plot.
Only for what? The next 40 minutes? 50 minutes somewhere in there?
All right, so we're at the 20-minute mark. I think that remains. Yeah, there remains a mystery until about the 1 hour mark, which is nice. You know, it's a good pacing. You know, it's an 82-minute animated straight before the credits. See, kids will think that's because it's short, but adults will think it's because his dick is too small.
It's both, for the record.
Excuse me, gotta get through the. I gotta turn the corner. All right then.
Destroy the display.
Is he okay? Oh, fuck it.
No, he is
Oh,
unconscious.
who gives a fuck? You never see that guy again. You don't care. All right, and this is like memorable scene number 15.
7, but yeah.
So if this was it, by this point, if this
Star Wars reference.
This will win over the last people in the audience who have not yet fallen in love with this movie. The information booth. Here it comes. It's like, what is it? Is it going to blow?
Yes.
Welcome to Duloc, such a perfect
It's a perfect town.
And some rules, let us lay them down.
So, how much time do you think it would take to accurately remake this Clockwork model?
To remake it?
Yeah.
I mean, the good thing about, computer animation is you could just build a lot of duplicates really quickly, which is probably part of the reason why they were able to pull this off. To make that would probably take... It's okay, so if you had a team of, like... So the welcome to Duloc picture. No. So as I was saying, if you had a team of like 20 people, you could probably accomplish that in a 12-hour period. So that's 240 labor hours, I'm wagering.
Okay. I was actually thinking a physical clockwork model.
And how long do you think that would take?
With 2 people, a couple days.
Might be more efficient.
And so on and so forth.
All right, so you met the ogre, you met the soldiers, now you are meeting the man who has sent them. See, all the elements are related. They all transition to a situation here, and that's what makes this movie great.
And now we get our wrestling homage.
I don't give a damn about my reputation. Shrek is displacing his frustration with Donkey by making fun of him. Pint of what, Shrek?
Well, it's a combination. It's a combination of grog and alcohol. So. Ice hockey. Flap.
That's right.
About my reputation.
And this would be... Well, I'm not sure what the barrel would be, actually.
It's Indiana Jones.
Oh, right. And now it's Rocky.
Pro wrestling. I do like the drop kick.
The World Wrestling Federation.
So did you ever actually play Shrek Super Slammers on the GameCube?
Nope.
Okay.
Give him the chair.
It was a 3D party fighter.
Yeah, I think those came out a little late for me. Hence, I never really got into them.
Ting!
He likes the crowd.
Try the veal. Now, given the combat prowess that both Donkey and Shrek just showed off, how much danger are they actually in?
I mean, they're in a lot of danger because those are arrows. And they can't punch him from that distance.
They don't need to punch them, though. They just need to get behind the other barrel of grog. I'm already on the quest.
Let it be known that Shrek also provided the inspiration for Russell Crowe's almost Oscar-winning performance in Gladiator 2000. Actually, no, Gladiator came out just 1 year before this movie, so that means that this is parodying that.
Are you sure? I don't see the Gladiator reference here.
No, dude. This is Gladiator surviving what was supposed to kill him. He removes his helmet and he says, "My name is Shrekimus Decimus Meridius, commander of the swamps to the north." This screen is a little too blue.
Only a little.
Oh, I get it. Bright blue sky, orange. So okay, so they're doing the orange-blue thing.
The problem is orange isn't down the screen often enough for it to be an actual compliment.
No. It has to. It's alternating, and this is one of the most important conversations in the movie. wasting a lot of food.
Ogres are not like cakes. Well, Shrek is like cakes, honestly.
Parfait, the most delicious thing on the whole dang planet.
See you later.
I don't know. Now, mind you, Mike Myers already did Austin Powers, but I don't think he ever quite lived down playing Shrek.
Mostly because he got tied tied to Shrek for the rest of the franchise.
And what a franchise it enjoyed while we have a brief traveling montage a la 70s movies.
Admittedly, yes. I'm one of the few people that likes Shrek the Third, and I actually think that Shrek the Third is arguably a better story than Shrek One, just not as well told. And then, of course, we have Shrek Forever, which is I don't think I've actually seen Shrek Forever all the way through.
Gingy? Is that you fighting other animal crackers? Little lions and monkeys. Yeah, brimstone, more like ass stone. Came off your butt cheeks.
Now, this would be a terrifying midway level in any video game.
Midway level. These are the plains of oblivion.
Nah, man, this is not Oblivion. There's too many stones.
That's a very donkeyish looking skeleton there.
But it's a horse.
Really, really. I remember this from the commercials. Don't look down. Don't look down. Don't look down. And it's terrifying. Do what now? Roll.
For the record, this is great mental manipulation by Shrek. Proving for me at the very least that Shrek is actually not a dumbass.
Well, Shrek is he's a learning creature, all right. That
He's at very least a learned creature.
I mean, he lives alone, so it at least shows you that he has learned to solve pretty much all of his problems except for talking donkeys.
Donkey does not pick up on sarcasm.
Heh, I bet you thought that was a complete skeleton. Nope, it's just its legs. Donkey, stop talking to yourself.
Shut up.
See? You can do that. Gotcha.
I read it in a book once. At the beginning of the movie.
That's what princesses typically get sent to. I mean, I didn't mention a name. I wiped my ass on the page. Yeah, that's right, donkey.
Hey, Dragon. For the record, Dragon doesn't get a name other than Dragon, so...
Dragon! Imposing dragon.
Very imposing.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, you got the dragon. You know, the thing that is about 40 times heavier than you?
Yeah, finally, Shrek runs into something that's bigger than him. The fairy tale convenience. That Shrek just gets launched into the highest tower, but of course as a result of him being heroic for a moment. But it seems that Donkey is screwed.
For the record, there isn't actually a pool of lava down there. I know it looks like it, but there can't be.
I mean, that's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt, but he can definitely make that fall.
Oh, that cheese. Oh, of course. You're a girl dragon, and I'm a male donkey. Asthmatic.
Yoink! Hey, Fiona.
Quick, gotta grab the flowers.
No. So, why would she lie to Shrek like this?
Well, because she's been waiting for this moment her whole life, and so is he. Well, it was supposed to be... Well, I mean, later revealed to actually be Prince Charming, the name of the person she was expecting, not just the idea of the man that was coming to save her. That Shrek 2 lays on thick the subplot that there was an arrangement between the King Harold and Fairy Godmother or something, but Shrek 1 definitely gives that a miss.
Uh-huh.
You should have seen my journal. It freaks you out in the sequel.
Yeah. Epics take 2 hours. We don't have that kind of time.
We have 82 minutes. You see, we have only 46 minutes of time left. Also, Cameron Diaz from Charlie's Angels and whatnot, joining us for the voice of Princess Fiona.
Ironically, we never get to slay this dragon. Before they burst into flames.
Like that guy, he said, no! Nightly treats.
I didn't notice that before. Huh. That means the dragon can read.
Well,
Specifically, the dragon can read English.
Dragon understands spoken English rather well, apparently, because
Yeah,
she was
I know that she
flattered.
understands English, but I didn't think that she could read.
No, just keep talking, Donkey. Take this one step at a time. That's my personal tail. That's my penis. Don't you touch that. And somehow Shrek's trousers got... Well, actually, no, his trousers did not get pulled down. It's just his butt.
Yeah. And running away.
Dun, 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 bum, bum, bum,
It's getting to shut up. That's the trick.
Oh, there's another great, memorable scene number 8. Shrek ruins his crotch because of a gap in the road.
Honestly, I think the entire raid on the castle is rather memorable. Especially how Shrek decides to solve the puzzle of Dragon.
Yeah, that. Now here's a nice Scooby-Doo. They're just going every which way, but it's causing the chains to get all knotted.
And... Oh, he doesn't actually use a cross-section here. Or at least not in this shot. In this next shot, though, yeah, now he's using a cross-section.
I'll take care of the dragon. See, I took care of it, no. Oh, they're almost out.
So, for the record, they all die right here. No way in hell they survive this.
Well, yeah, just like you could say no way in hell the chandelier landed on the dragon or that the sword stopped
Well,
the
no, the
chains from...
chandelier landing on the dragon I totally buy because that's what the room was designed for.
It's
but,
a fairy tale. It's supposed to be unrealistic.
I know, but this specifically, Donkey had enough weight on the first half of the bridge to on his own break one of the boards. So clearly these boards do not have enough vertical threshold to actually hold Shrek.
Well, I mean, maybe that was the one weak board.
Ouch.
I might have to talk to my chapel father about this, but I'm Steig.
And helmet hair doesn't come off when you remove the helmet.
Oh, he's got helmet hair, all right. Matter of fact, he doesn't have any hair at all. Wait. And then they look at each other.
This is where Fiona actually gets to show off how much of a badass she gets to be later.
I mean, this bitch has been waiting for years for somebody to come and rescue her. Doesn't even explain how she was getting along this whole time, but just, yeah, she's frustrated.
Yeah. For the record, Fiona spent at least 10 years in that tower. It makes me wonder if she actually has a decent relationship with Dragon.
Dragon was probably the one feeding her.
Probably.
Because that's the only explanation I can think of.
Well, why not? Why can't ogres rescue you from dragons?
Why can't I escape my Dia de los Muertos makeup?
Because he's an ineffectual ruler that's very short. He doesn't ride horses that
is
well.
a good question. Why doesn't Lord Farquaad do it himself?
As a member of the aristocracy, it's not his job to do things himself.
Kings don't fight. They send other people to fight for them. That's Royalty 101 there, don't you know?
Royalty 100, actually, but yeah.
I'm a delivery boy. Memorable scene number 9.
And so Fiona becomes cargo.
And Shrek still hasn't taken time to wipe off his face.
He doesn't need to. Plus, he only had the one favor from Fiona, so.
But see, that's one of those things that some movies would forget. You know, now he's washing his face off, so now his face is going to be reset. I like how buddy-ish these guys have become.
For the record, I'm totally with Shrek on this.
Well, that's because Shrek does not know what the situation is exactly.
That is true.
You know?
Except Fiona.
Ooh, okay. Time out for a second. My balls just shrank back into my breadbasket.
Like a door.
Rips bark off of tree.
She ripped a very clean section of bark off of that tree, for the record. Yeesh. He was just trying to be like homie.
I thought that she was gonna...
I actually really like this scene.
Yeah, this is well, because we've seen, you know, first we've seen Shrek and Donkey, you know, well, I mean, mostly Shrek yelling at Donkey, then they're laughing together, they're going on adventures together. Now they're just, you know, this is the equivalent of, you know, just this is male bonding. I mean, they might as well, like, have some beers, have a cigar, and just be shooting the shit, basically. That's what they're doing.
So I wonder where Shrek actually got this mentality, because he's been isolated for a majority of his life, and usually this kind of stuff comes from, you know, from a study or personal interaction. Well, as we'll learn in Shrek the Third, he does not have a good relationship with his parents.
Oh, Shrek still has parents. See,
Shrek had parents. I'm not entirely sure if he still has parents.
Brother Gerda, you are our scholar on Shrek lore. Okay, so Shrek has parents, but does he have grandparents?
Again, we don't know if he still has parents. He had parents, certainly.
Well, I mean, everybody had parents. But I believe we were talking, like, how has Shrek come to believe the things about life that he has come to believe? Part of it is that he's always noticed this schism between public expectations and expectations on himself, because he knows himself better than anybody. But that doesn't matter to the broader world that he knows himself or that he has a self, is because nobody will let that self in. They judge me before they get to know me. That is, I'm with you, Shrek. And Fiona's with you,
and
too.
now Fiona feels bad about it. For the record, Shrek is guilty of the same thing, but in a much lesser magnitude.
Well, that, hey man, he didn't start the poop throwing party. That was on the angry mobs and the soldiers and Lord Farquaad and all of them. Huh. That's a nice moon.
It is a nice moon.
La 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 la.
Reframe.
It's interesting how many different remixes that they have for this track throughout the movie, because we have the opening theme, we have this theme, and then we have Fiona's rendition shortly.
Again, that's one of the, in my opinion, Mr. Gerda, that's one of the lost arts of motion picture storytelling, is refrain, running gag, reminding you that you're watching the same thing as before. And also that by merely being exposed to the theme over and over again, that each time you hear it, you like it, and you find yourself liking it even more. Memorable scene number 9.
It's like, good morning, my beautiful princess. Hello, hello.
Like, what the hell is this?
This is her pretending to be Snow White.
And then you see what she was after the whole time.
Boom.
Creatures in this world have a funny habit of just exploding above the knees.
It's a bit late in the morning, Shrek. Edible.
Time out. There's no fucking way she can hold that rock right now. That rock is scalding hot.
Yeah.
She was cooking eggs on it. Okay, suspension of disbelief, bridges not breaking where they should, dragons having chandeliers drop on them become iron collars. There's no fucking way she can hold a rock that high.
Yeah. Call out.
Yay. It's like, that's right.
Oh, merry man!
So, why is Robin Hood French in this scene?
To make him as awkward as possible.
But he's supposed to be English, and we're supposedly in the English description of Grimm's fairy tales. So,
What are you doing in England? Mind your own business!
Oh, of course, if it wasn't French, he wouldn't have an accordion player. Hey! Memorable scene number 11.
Monsieur Hood!
Monsieur Hood.
Break it down now. And now they're doing Irish tap tap dancing.
I think this is specifically supposed to be referencing Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Probably.
Man, I'm to your heart in the I'm about to start.
Practically goes cross-eyed for a second.
You guys ready for one of the weakest Matrix references in the movie?
That is literally just like one frame of animation.
It's not one frame of animation. I mean, she effectively does a lot of Trinity's moves in this sequence.
Yep, and here's like one of the early scenes from The Matrix, and yeah, that was like 2 frames of animation, just her legs, and then she punches through the accordion. They're not dead; they're just beat up. I had to protect my donkey.
Yeah, you turned into Katana from Mortal Kombat for 5 frames.
Oh, she's blushing. Oh, would you look at that?
He is not a puppy, donkey.
Donkey! Oh, blue flower, red thorns. Of course, it's supposed to be blue flower, orange thorns. Tisk, tisk.
What do you suppose we do?
I'm gonna yank it out of your butt, and you're gonna like it.
If I wasn't colorblind. Of course, he's surrounded by the fucking things. He can't tell what it is.
Yeah, because he's colorblind.
He's colorblind. It's like, how are we supposed to know that? Unless he just told us.
He did just tell us.
That donkey continues to exceed in being stupid. Although it's not his fault he's colorblind, I guess. Just like it's not his fault he's a donkey. Donkey sleeping.
I like this musical piece too. Like a lot of the individual scenes of this movie are honestly really good, and it flows really well too.
Yep. And here we have another traveling montage set to soft electric adult rock.
Thanks, Shrek. And catapult away!
I can think of something even grosser.
She only does 3 passes with that, and yet she gets like a majority of the flying insects, and she managed to make it into actual cotton candy. There wasn't enough spider silk for that to work.
Spider candy. Nice.
And this strictly does not work.
Sure.
Animal biology does not allow this to happen.
We're just taking a walk in the park. So there's the cliche. Let's go to the fairground. Fucking throw softballs at clowns and play and little balloon animals.
Bonk. La, la,
It's
la,
all right. They're fine.
la,
They're
la.
stupid balloon animals or something. Welcome to Duloc, such a perfect town. And then you're on your back. You know.
Dead. How the fuck you gonna make tea, Fiona?
It's a fucking neck twitch.
For the record, Donkey, those are technically toenails.
See, that's the kind of stupid donkey is he forgets he has toes. He's a fucking donkey. Why would he think he has toes? Or maybe it's because Donkey was a human who got turned into a donkey.
Now, would you be willing to have weed rat stew, Mr. Cloud?
Hell yeah, I'd have weed rats too. I mean, it's just got to be cooked at 165 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds.
Isn't it supposed to be 250 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes?
No. 250. That's how you start a wood stove. I'm talking about, not destroying the food in the process of cooking it.
Okay.
165 degrees is about the temperature that kills pretty much all bacteria and parasites. But, I mean, ideally, I don't think, getting rats that have been eating, whatever the fuck their whole lives, nah.
I really like the soft guitar piece in the background here.
Shrek just cannot quite put it together because he can't believe he was about to say it. It's alright, Shrek. Everybody goes through the motions of getting to know somebody. Especially when you want to get to know somebody. Yeah. They're waiting to drop that the whole time. You're afraid of the dark.
I'm still afraid of the dark. Saying I do,
Because I don't.
Poor Shrek.
But now he's letting society tell him what he wants. And as we come
Well,
to find
not what
out,
he wants, but what is expected of him.
what he's supposed to have.
Yeah.
What is allotted to ogres. Which is
Honestly, the big thing to take away from Shrek is that the musical scoring in this is fucking fantastic.
And speaking of musical scoring, here comes memorable scene number 12 and a half, the big Fiona reveal.
For someone scared of the dark, she didn't bother to clean out the spider webs.
It's because she's a liar. But why is she lying? Why are you lying to me? Turn. You ate the princess.
Literal translation.
Keep breathing. This is not the first time that somebody's going to be trapped inside a belly. But why specifically an ogre?
Because it ties directly into the curse that we got foreshadowed earlier. Here's the thing: Shrek is. If this is the Brunhilde myth, then Shrek actually is Siegfried.
Of course. He scaled the mountain because he was not afraid of it. He faced the dragon because he did not fear it. He fought for Brunhilde because Brunhilde was worth it.
Now
witch.
the question is: was it a witch or was it the fairy godmother?
That's the big difference between Shrek 1 and Shrek 2 is that Shrek 2 expounds on this as though it needed to be explained instead of just, shoehorning in a plot for a sequel. But yeah, she just leaves it at that, is that the enchantress was a witch, not in, a character you would expect to be benevolent, like the fairy godmother.
Well, that's the thing. I actually think that the fairy godmother actually cast this curse.
Well, right. And that's great for Shrek 2, but for Shrek 1,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter exactly who or why. It is what it is. You're actually more, well, exactly an ogre. You got the ears and everything. I mean, the ears are in the Shrek logo, for God's sake.
They are. I'm actually really proud of Shrek right here because he's trying his damnedest to actually confront his feelings. And if it wasn't for the fucking rom-com nature of the movie, this would totally have worked.
This is a story of hope for fellas who, maybe take their time going out into the dating world. And it also helps kids understand that, it's a big, awkward, stupid process, but this is how it all goes down. And, of course, he was eavesdropping on the exact wrong part of the conversation and walking away right before she has a chance to explain herself dramatically.
Yeah, and honestly, the rom-com element of this story doesn't work for me.
I'm sorry, rom-com?
Yeah, this is a rom-com plot twist.
What is a rom-com?
Romantic comedy.
Oh, okay. Huh. That was another thing that was in the trailer.
Yeah, I do not buy the romantic comedy twist in this movie. I get that we need to actually spend another 25 minutes in the movie, but I don't buy. I totally buy that Shrek would totally believe in Fiona's problem. But what I don't buy is that Shrek would totally ignore her pleas once he actually gets Farquaad here.
Well, that's why it was so dramatically inconvenient that he did not hear the entirety of the conversation. He took what she said out of context. Well, I mean, you also gotta understand, Mr. Gerdad, is that we got kind of a Chekhov's gun going on with Lord Farquaad. That gun has to go off, and that's why it goes as far as the wedding scene in order to turn this whole thing around. No.
Shrek, that means that they were actually following you because you went to go get them.
Well, I mean, Lord Farquaad is not gonna, come at the first call of an ogre, just like Shrek isn't gonna wait around for this guy to show up on his own. Well, he decided to make a territory after all, and had a dean draw it accordingly.
You know, he kind of looks like Frollo from that shot.
It's the hair. It's the
It is the hair. The hair makes him look like he has Frollo's hat. I like the clenched fist there.
Well, that is the classic sign of illicit intentions.
Yeah.
Kind of like Violet Beauregard putting her two fingers crossed behind her back when she said to never reveal the secret of the everlasting gobstopper to anyone.
Yeah.
Not even her best
For the
friend.
record, all the kids did that. Except for, I think Charlie didn't do it. Did he?
No, of course Charlie didn't. Charlie is an innocent good boy.
Well, Christ-like is the correct term there. Well, rather in the reboot. That's the plan. Remember, Donkey?
Yeah.
Talking donkeys.
But wait. But I know the
And
truth.
here comes Hallelujah. The only reason anyone knows that this song exists. Although it is a great fucking piece.
Number 16. The Hallelujah montage showing the preparations for the wedding.
You don't really care for music, do ya? Honestly, the thing that sells Hallelujah to me specifically is the rising and falling of the piano chords, because the piano chords in here are fucking glorious.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Contrast. Contrast and juxtaposition. Second consecutive DreamWorks movie we've done where they used a lot of contrast and juxtaposition for storytelling purposes. Wonderful. Well, wait, that's not Shrek's Hearth at Home. That's the chimney in Lord Farquaad's palace.
You know, her dress is actually really simple. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about the pink camisole either.
Yeah, now that you mention it, it's kind of weird that she's wearing like a non-white. I mean, see, her little doll on the cake doesn't have those little pink frills.
Yeah.
See, that's about right. God, marrying tiny dick little bastard.
The learn from love was how to shoot at someone who outdrew you. Hi, dragon.
Oh.
Night, it's not somebody.
Well, I guess everybody's just lonely here
it's
now.
It's cold and it's a broken hallelujah.
I guess Dragon decided that she was bored at the castle, not having anybody.
Well, she doesn't
to
have anything to do at the castle now.
So like, I already miss Fiona.
Yeah.
It's nothing quite like needing somebody.
Everybody needs somebody.
Right. Your half.
I did half the work, I get half the booty.
All right.
Our swamp.
Jackass.
Yoga.
You are mean. You stink.
So badly.
Onion boy.
For the record, Shrek is actually afraid of his own feelings. We get more into that in Shrek 3.
And see, if Donkey didn't come back, Shrek would have never learned the truth that he misheard the conversation.
For the record, Shrek would actually been a grumpy old ogre for the rest of his life, and he would have been okay with that. Not happy, but okay.
Well, yeah, but he wouldn't have had little Shrek triplets. There were 3 of them, right? Shrek the third, the 3 children. Gotcha.
For the record, Shrek the Third isn't actually about him. Becoming a dad. It's the emotional weight of trying to going on another quest to escape those responsibilities, only to find out that he can do this. Not well, but he can do this.
No, he realizes that as much as he tried to shut out his feelings, that his feelings were always there, and they are true. That right now we need a dragon.
Dragon!
Nobody likes to kiss ass. That's like the 4th time they used the word ass in this movie. Marvelous.
I know I'm not supposed to comment on a woman's figure, but Dragon looks a little obese in that shot.
She's just a big fat dragon. It's fine. I mean, she's got to have room for all that fire in her belly. And maybe some little donkey dragon freak children. And you know who. Revered silence. For the record, I think ceremonies like this have been about this fake for the past, 1,500 years, maybe even longer. Really? Nobody felt that inside? Nobody felt the dragon
Yay!
land? There's a line!
I object!
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes.
Get the
Got to
dragon.
try a little tenderness.
Memorable scene number 19. The whole town's in there.
Whoosh.
That's the whole town. Shrek, you were supposed to catch
Ow.
him. Just in time to stop the kiss. Hey, it's him.
We like you.
Become very clean.
How does he know that?
Because it's actually common knowledge that Dilok isn't a kingdom yet.
That it's to be expected that it's Lord Farquaad's quest to actually make it a kingdom?
Yeah. It is actually common. It's actually common knowledge amongst the populace that Lord Farquaad is a bit self-conscious about the fact that he doesn't run a kingdom yet.
Right. Right, so Shrek is just stating the obvious, which of course was buried because you're supposed to be nice to this guy.
That is a very fast, quickly descending sun.
They really waited a long time just for the. I mean, if you started it at 2, this wouldn't have been necessary. You waited until fucking 6.
Yeah. I know that we're supposed to be somewhere between the spring and summer. Well, actually, no, we're late summer, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty summery. Well, and now it's time for the rising action towards the climax.
Now, this is another small problem that I have with this scene is that Fiona doesn't actually do any combat in this scene.
Well, I mean, they're kind of. I mean, yeah, he's strong, but
Shrek still
like
gets a few hits
20
off.
Of them.
Shrek still gets a few hits off. No, totally, Fiona would be able to do it. She's only got 3 on her, yeah.
Well, I mean, as we come to find out, she's a lot stronger than she looks.
Yeah.
A dragon!
A dragon! For the record, a dragon is not in the script there, but come on. I always end up saying it there.
And nobody cares.
That is still the case.
Nobody cares. That's okay. I guess Lord Farquaad is dead now. All right, let's all carry on now. Ah, see, they did the really thing.
Hey, Felonious.
Aw, he can spell. He
Kind of.
He can't count, but he can still spell.
Well, he can spell onomatopoeias. Whoosh!
She has become Super Ogre.
Now she can take on Metal Frieza. Ouch.
No, but of course we. I forgot the fucking dragon punches out the last unbroken one. See, it was a flip of the script all along.
Hey, Smash Mouth.
Oh, get over.
That was only true in the fairy tales.
Yeah. And all the fairy tale characters were invited. Pinocchio.
Yep.
He hoofed and he poofed and he signed in a fiction notice.
The point man's haunted all my dreams.
It's a giant onion. And 2 blind horses, apparently. Oh, wait. Isn't there a little thing where they got, like, little freak donkey children?
Not here. That's the ending of Shrek 2. Hey, Christmas Carol.
What? Oh, right, because it's another movie, another parody. And, of course, in the spirit of parodies, they are doing licensed music.
I'm in love. Ooh, I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried.
Yep, with Eddie Murphy actually singing.
A face. Now I'm a believer. But yeah, that is Shrek 1. It's honestly a really, really fun parody movie.
It is a romping good time, and it will likely appear on cable networks, multiple cable networks simultaneously.
Yeah. Cartoon Network still runs Shrek 1 at least once a year.
Yep, TBS was running Shrek 2 not too long ago. So the Shrek movies are definitely cemented in the motion picture, like, iconic films. Ones that most people would recognize immediately and probably stick around to watch. I can't breathe. And ending credits.
So yeah, what do you think of Shrek 1, Mr. Cloud?
Like in my top 5 animated pictures of all time. That
actually, I was hoping for a more general tier list placing for films.
Well, all right, that tier list placing, that it's like for this for computer animated 82-minute running time, really likable story, chock full of scenes. Like, this movie is like this articles in books that are designed to get you to watch movies will stop in 2001 to make mention of Shrek because of how likable and how enjoyable this is. Not to mention that because of the PG rating, it's also very accessible too to all audiences. 8 years old, sure, boot up Shrek, have a good time, And here we are, standing in, the the burning candles of our youth, and we're still watching this movie.
Yeah, mind you, I personally find that a lot of the movies that I loved as a kid still hold up. Not all of them. Like, for example, Digimon the movie doesn't actually hold up that well, but Hobbit 79 does.
Kind of makes.
But we already did a commentary over Hobbit 79, and I'm pretty sure that one's even up now.
Yeah, it's up. Hey, Mike Myers actually played one of the 3 blind mice. I didn't know that.
Cool.
That
I really enjoy Shrek 1. I argue that Shrek 2 is a better movie, and I also argue that Shrek 3 is a better story, just not told as well. But Shrek 1 is always a good watch. Specifically, I want to bring attention to the soundtrack, although I've never actually listened to the credits all the way through, mostly because it's the credits. I don't give a shit.
Oh, yeah.
I know I should I respect all of these people, certainly, but that doesn't mean I care about who they are.
Makes me want to dance. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Romance. Now, some of the best movies I've seen, like A Clockwork Orange, or even there's another one and the Godfather. So, all right, bit of extreme examples of like good movies. I'm not saying that Shrek is quite up there, in the totality of movies. I'm just saying that among computer animated pictures, among kid friendly pictures, that this movie is in one of my favorite movies of all time. That these movies had themes, and you brought up the soundtrack. That music is the classic cue, one of the oldest cues of all time, actually, to get you to refrain, to remember earlier portions, to let the story unfold correctly. This is one of the moviest movies I can think of, because all the things that make movies great are right here.
Oh, yeah.
And not to mention a variety of genres. We got suspense, we got action, we got comedy, we got back and forth buddy, we got romantic comedy. The list goes on. And let's not forget, of course, the pokes of fun at other recognizable movies at this time.
The most 90s of Teen Pop is also in the credits.
Teen Pop.
Hey, the 90s Teen Pop still has good tracks in it, just not a lot of them.
90s pop will never die. They said
90s pop will eventually die, Mr. Cloud. Mostly because, it loses carbonation if it's set alone for too long.
And, well, let me also say that, as I had mentioned before, that because of the wide variety of stuff that you find in this movie, that reviewings will usually be pretty fresh. I actually had scanned this video a couple times before we started the commentary today, and I still found stuff that's like, oh yeah, that says in here too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, as for me, when it comes to specifically animated movies, I think that Shrek. I don't really do tier listing for animated movies, because if I did, Hobbit 79 is the number one. But here's the theme again. And probably directly under Hobbit 79 would be the original Lion King, specifically the original one, not the one that's got the additional Morning Report track on it. I actually dislike Morning Report quite a bit, and I think it actually subtracts from the original movie a bit.
Abbey Road Studios, nice. Which I believe is where they recorded Dark Side of the Moon.
I didn't know that this track actually had a lyrical version.
Yay. Well, they've been building up to this moment. I do,
but they added a lot more. Added a lot more instrumental elements to it, and honestly, I don't think it needs it. I think the woodwinds specifically carry the track much more than the additional instrumentation does.
Well, it kind of shows the full circle of music. That first is first it's on piano, and then it's on a piece of paper, and then it's on a computer, and then it's played by a 25-piece orchestra. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get the game on. Go play. Welcome to Duloc, such a perfect town.
So is this song technically called Meditation then?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Best years of our lives. Da, 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 da. I think I missed the title for this track playing right now.
Maybe it's just It Is You.
Yeah.
But yep, 2001 DreamWorks LLC.
I'm glad how cognizant I was around the time when this movie came out, that even at the time I knew that this movie fucking rocks, and I can't wait to actually own a copy of it at home. And we hope that you...
Please tell me we're not doing Ants next. Although I know that... Okay, good, because, God.
I never really cared for Ants. But
Ants
maybe
is a shit movie.
Maybe we will come back in DreamWorks Sound at another time. We wanted to thank you all for watching. Shrek 1 with us. It is a great movie in its own right, and it deserves to be in everybody's favorites and a must-see.
Yes. I'm the one that's picking out the next movie, so of course it wasn't actually going to be Ants, but we might stay in DreamWorks land for a bit. I don't know. All right, everybody. Be safe.
Peace out, y'all.